According to Arabian proverb, he who has health has hope, and he who has hope has everything. Welcome to another informative episode of The Fertile with Felicia Ali. Today we want to look at hepatitis. Is hepatitis a very common infectious disease?
Yes, it's a very common infectious disease.
Okay, so what are the different types? Is it just one? What is it like?
Okay, first, there are types of hepatitis.
Okay.
So the infectious type of hepatitis.
Yes.
We have the viral hepatitis.
Okay.
Caused by hepatitis A, B, C, D, and E.
Oh, that much. A, B, C, D, and E.
Yes.
Okay.
Then we have the non-infectious. We have the autoimmune hepatitis, where the body creates an antibody and attacks your liver.
Okay.
We also have the alcoholic hepatitis.
Oh, so alcohol can, it cause hepatitis for a person?
Yeah, it causes harm.
Okay.
Yes,
okay.
It affects the liver. Type A and E, they are of fecal oral. What I mean with fecal oral is that they are transmitted through food.
Okay.
If the food is contaminated.
Okay.
Yes. Then for B, C, and D, they are transmitted through body fluids.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is The Fertile and I am Felicia Ali. Today we want to look into hepatitis. What hepatitis is, what is the mode of transmission, and all that you need to know about hepatitis. And we have a health practitioner here with us in the studio. He is Dr. James Obetin. You're welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you very much.
It's such a great pleasure to have you here.
Nice to
Okay,
meet you.
today we want to talk about hepatitis. What is hepatitis, doctor?
Okay, hepatitis is basically, in simple terms, inflammation of the liver.
Okay.
Yeah, and there are different causes, which I think we'll talk about.
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
Is it a very, very common... Can I refer to it as a disease or an infection? What is it exactly?
Well, it depends on the types.
Okay.
There are different causes. It's
Okay.
both infectious causes and
Non-infectious causes. So
basically, they are
first of all,
diseases.
let me find this out. Is hepatitis a very common infectious disease?
Yes, it's a very common infectious disease.
Okay, so what are the different... Are there different types? Is it just one? What is it like?
Okay. First, there are types of hepatitis.
Okay.
So the infectious type of hepatitis.
Yes.
We have the viral hepatitis.
Okay.
Caused by hepatitis A, B, C, D, and E.
Oh, that much. A, B, C, D, and E.
Yes.
Okay.
Then we have the non-infectious. We have the autoimmune hepatitis, where the body creates an antibody and attacks your liver.
Okay.
We also have the alcoholic hepatitis.
Oh, so alcohol can, it cause hepatitis for a
It
person?
causes harm.
Okay.
Yes,
okay.
It affects the liver.
So it affects the liver
Yes, it
eventually.
affects the liver.
It becomes
Prolonged
inflamed.
use, yes.
Prolonged use of alcohol
yes.
can inflame the liver
Yes.
and then it becomes an hepatitis.
Yes.
Okay. You talked about A, B, C, D, and E. Can you differentiate them? Are they different or they're the same?
Yes, they are all different.
Okay.
Their mode of transmission is different.
Okay, so what is hepatitis A? How does it affect a person?
Okay, let's see it this way. There's A, B, C, D, and E.
Okay.
A and E.
Okay.
We keep it separately.
Okay.
We have B, C, and D. Let's use that scenario.
Okay.
Now, type A and E, they are of fecal oral. What I mean with fecal oral is that they are transmitted through food.
Okay.
If the food is contaminated.
Okay.
Yes. Then for B, C, and D, they are transmitted through body fluids.
Body fluids.
Yes,
Okay.
like blood.
Okay, so if blood is not properly screened during transfusion.
Yes, blood transfusion. Yes,
Okay,
it's another way of transmitting these other types of hepatitis.
Okay.
But the commonest one is hepatitis B and C.
And C.
Yes, that's
Okay, so apart from blood transfusion and all that bodily fluid, is it sexually transmitted?
okay. There are routes of transmitting hepatitis.
Okay.
Yes, for the B, C, and D.
And D, yes.
Now, it can be transmitted from mother to child. It's more like HIV.
Okay, is it a virus?
It's a virus, actually.
Okay.
I'm sorry, we didn't bring that up from the
Okay,
beginning.
okay.
Yeah, it is. When I say the viral hepatitis, they are caused by viruses.
Viruses,
Yeah,
okay.
so there are different types of viruses,
Yes.
as mentioned. So for hepatitis B, C, and D,
Yes.
yeah, if a mother has it, it can transmit to,
To the child during pregnancy.
during
Okay.
pregnancy.
Okay.
Then we have it's transmitted sexually.
Okay.
Yeah, it's contained in blood,
Yes.
semen, and
Okay.
vaginal
Okay.
secretions. So now, if it is present in a mother, it can be transmitted to the
To
child.
the child.
It can be transmitted sexually.
Okay.
The people that share sharps, like drug users.
Okay.
Yeah, if they share sharps.
Okay, what about the barbing kits that people use in the barbing salon and all that? Because I know HIV can be transmitted through those, sharp objects, cuts and all that during, maybe haircuts or shaving and all of that. Is it the same with hepatitis?
Yes, and there's publications say that hepatitis is 100 times infectious than
Okay.
HIV.
Oh, wow. So
Yes,
it is very, very
yeah,
infectious.
easily very infectious. So from barbing, from sharps, whatever it is, it can be picked up.
Be picked up.
Yes.
Okay. So my next question now is, you've talked about the different types now. The B is what you're laying emphasis on now.
Okay.
How does it affect people? The hepatitis B.
Okay, I think you're referring to symptoms.
Yes,
what the person
symptoms.
might have. Okay, if you're infected with hepatitis, it takes like the incubation period. What I mean by incubation period, from when the person has the infection,
yes,
to when the person starts showing symptoms. Yeah, so it's a long incubation period. It can go as from 1 to 6 months.
Okay, so a person can actually have it without knowing.
Without showing symptoms.
Even
so that's why we
symptoms.
encourage frequent routine screening for it at least once or twice in the month.
Okay, yes. At least once or 2 times a month. Go to the hospital for checks.
I'm sorry, yeah. Twice a year. I'm sorry.
Okay, not a month now.
Not a month.
Yearly. At least once in a year, go for screening and check what your
hepatitis
health status is. Yes. Okay, so now let me go back a little bit. You talked about body fluid. Yeah. For example, somebody sweating now, and then you probably rub your body off on the person or something. Is it possible to get infected through that means?
It's let's use HIV as an example.
Okay.
It's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
You're not sweating. Sweating doesn't transmit it.
Sweating doesn't transmit it. Because I heard a case of a lady that said she was in a public vehicle, and the way they put people inside the bus choked up and all. So she felt like somebody was rubbing off, but the body was rubbing off on her, and she felt like, please, I don't want any form of, disease transmission like hepatitis. I'm like, is it even possible for somebody to get infected like that? So let's clarify that. It's not possible like that, except you share sharps.
Yes,
okay. So you were talking about symptoms now and the incubation period.
Yes. So the person begins by first start having this dark colored urine.
Okay.
You see your stool is clear. When I mean it's colorless. Okay. You don't have that stool color. The person is jaundiced, on the yellowness of the eyes.
Of the eyes, yes, okay.
Person can progress if it's a chronic case, start having ascites, that's swollen abdomen.
Okay.
When we now come to the hospital and we probably examine you, we see that, you are jaundiced, we checked and you see that your liver is enlarged. Okay. Because it's affecting the liver,
yes.
Primarily.
Yes.
It can also come to the fact the person start having spleen, where there's an organ we call spleen.
Yes.
You see the person.
So the liver is not now able to, perform the function.
And the jaundice I'm talking about is that the liver can no longer metabolize the bilirubin that is secreted. So it's depositing on the different mucus in the body. Okay. Mucous layer, the eyes.
And then you start seeing it in the eyes.
Because the body cannot metabolize it and excrete it.
Okay, okay. So now you've talked about the symptoms of the hepatitis B. What about the A and the E that you separated first? Are there symptoms of those other ones? The A, the C, the D, the E?
Yeah, they are all basically the same.
Okay, but they show the same symptoms.
But A and C,
yes.
A and C are acute. I'll use that word.
Okay.
They are like, I won't say malaria, but what happens is that they are self-limiting. It's just like a simple disease somebody might have.
Okay.
Yeah, you just have and it goes.
That's what I was going to say. It stays, and then after a while, it can clear off on its own.
It's even self-limiting at some point.
Self-limiting. Yeah. But the B would not go without treatment.
Yes, without treatment.
Okay, so when I say without treatment, now, what are the treatments that are available?
Okay. For fear of abuse of drugs, I usually don't want to start mentioning drugs.
Definitely.
Drugs use.
Yes,
But
okay.
what we advise, if you come down with the symptoms, you present yourself to your facility and you are placed on treatment.
Okay.
We have antiviral therapy for people that come down with hepatitis. But they are all lifestyle modifications we advise people to, like nutrition on nutritional basis.
Okay.
We tell you to eat healthy, eat fruits.
Okay.
Because they are good immune boosters.
Yes.
So fruits, vegetables.
Yes.
Basically, and for those that already have the disease, we tell them to at least reduce their protein diet. That will include maybe more fish, skinned chicken, things like that.
Things like that. At the end of the day, once you eat healthy, you know, they always say you are what you eat.
Yes,
if you eat healthy, your body is able to, you know, fight against some of these diseases. So other than lifestyle and all that, how else can a person, you know, how can they get prevent themselves from getting this in the first place?
Okay, I missed out something on the lifestyle modification. You know, alcohol.
Yes.
And smoking should be added to that.
Okay. Yes. Avoid smoking and alcohol by all means.
Yes.
Okay.
So now for the prevention, there are lay downs. We talk about immunization.
Yes.
One, you immunize. First, you have to check and make sure you don't have the disease.
Okay.
But if you don't, then you immunize.
Okay.
There's a routine for it.
Okay. Yeah. So it can be stopped using vaccines.
Yes, once you're immunized, your body is sensitized for the virus.
Okay.
You are likely not to come down with symptoms because your body doesn't recognize it as disease.
So how long does that immunization last, or how frequent should it be?
Okay. If you check your viral status and you see that you're negative, you should do it's a 6 months, within a 6 months duration.
Okay.
So the first month, after the first time you take the vaccine, you give it like a month
before you go for the next one.
Then after that, you give it like 4 to 5 months. You take the last one.
The third dose.
Then subsequently, you can just do a booster every 2 years.
Okay, every 2 years.
Yeah,
okay, not like once you've taken it, you're immune forever.
No, there's a level of immunity for life.
Okay.
But it's just that you're a booster. It's something like, say, booster.
Okay.
Like you boost your immunity.
You boost your immunity. Yeah. So it's not like for somebody. What about someone who hasn't, you know, taken any vaccine at all, and then the person says, okay, they're doing vaccine boosting and immune booster rather.
No, you can't have an immune booster if you have not done the proper routine vaccine.
Gone for your first, you know, dose of vaccination. First, second, and third dose vaccination before you can now do your proper immune booster. That will take me now to the next question.
Okay.
First and foremost, before we talk about treatments, we have to talk about mode of, you know, diagnosis. Is it diagnosed? You go to the hospital, you get tested, and is that how it's done? Or you just feel something and then you think this is hepatitis?
Okay, I already mentioned the symptoms earlier on.
Yes, you did.
So with that symptoms, you present to the hospital. We'll probably further examine you.
Okay.
And that will include doing some screening. We'll do the rapid test to be sure, you have the virus.
Okay.
Then we now check if it is it will transmit, you are infectious.
Okay.
Because there are other panels we check to be sure, this person can transmit, or is just the present, the body just has antibody for it.
Okay.
Then the next thing we do, we then do a liver test.
Okay, so doctor, you mentioned the symptoms a person will present. So with those symptoms, the person can go to the hospital to get diagnosed, or how would they find out is hepatitis?
Okay, I already mentioned the symptoms.
Yes.
So if you see yourself having the symptoms, you usually should present to your doctor.
Okay.
Then he does a proper examination, whoever it is. We do some tests.
Okay.
So these tests will include first confirming that you might have hepatitis. So we do the rapid test. Then check if you're in the infective state.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then
so it doesn't just start you don't become infectious to other people from the beginning.
No.
So it grows. It's a stage.
It's like HIV. You go to a particular viral load.
Okay.
Then you can now transmit to other people.
Okay, so once they get to the hospital, you test for
we'll test for this, do some scan and check the liver states.
Okay.
Including the enzyme and bilirubin level.
Okay.
Then we know that, we diagnose and say, this person has hepatitis. Then we progress.
Okay, to treatment.
Yes.
That's the diagnosis part. So it's not for a person to just think, these are the things I think I'm feeling. It's just like somebody feels headache and then you say, might be malaria.
And
then you go straight up to start getting to the pharmacy and then then you buy drugs and you just start taking. So that is wrong approach. As soon as you see some of the symptoms, like the doctor has mentioned, you go straight to the hospital for proper test, and once they run the test, they know what state you are in. And then you also mentioned the checking the state of the liver at that point the person comes to the hospital. So what's the essence of that?
Okay. The virus affects primarily affects the liver.
The liver, yes.
So now there are other functions the liver does.
Okay.
Like metabolize bilirubin, metabolize bilirubin, and also secrete other enzymes that helps other drugs. So if the liver is affected, this particular bilirubin functions are deranged. So you see the person coming down, like I said in the jaundice. The bilirubin is not metabolized, so it's flowing in the body.
Swollen
so when we are doing this liver enzyme test and all that, we are trying to check, the liver is still intact. And what are we doing to protect it?
To save it from there. Okay, so if the person is now in a state where it has grown to become infectious, what do you do from there?
We now give antiviral therapy to reduce the viral load.
Okay.